Hey guys, it's Megan Aller in sales here in Metro Denver with First American Title, giving you your weekly Wednesday update. And this week we're going to talk about your strategy heading into 2020. I'm sure that as you're going to holiday parties between Christmas and New Year's at this point in the year, that you've probably had some interesting conversations about what you expect to happen going into 2020. Well, being the market expert that you are, I've gone ahead and prepared those strategy sheets for you heading into 2020 so that you can better advise your buyers and sellers. Now, you've seen your strategy sheets that I released to you last year at this time. They were the orange and green sheets, and this year we've transferred those into red and blue. Now again, the way that this reads through is we've got all of the 18 different metrics that I'm tracking on a monthly basis for you, and I've lined them out and I've highlighted in blue the months that are best opportunity for the seller, and then the ones that are in red are the best opportunity going in for the buyer. Everything's starting to line up with our decrease in inventory heading into the latter part of the year that we're very likely to have a very strong spring. Now, when we expect people to start picking up for their buyer activity, tune in next week so that you can see those slides, but everything that I see as of this point shows that we're going to have a very strong spring. Now, those cells that are most blue end up showing up at the end of February, March, April, and the beginning of May. Now, what happens in May is our buyer pool starts to fatigue, and we're also hit with a slew of holidays, Mother's Day, all of the school graduations, and then it ends with Memorial Day. By the time that we start heading into June, our listing inventory bolsters, and we end up seeing more units available to the market, and our buyer pool fatigues and starts to pull back. By the time that you get into early July versus late July, there's a really finite cutoff period there where our market starts to really pull back and inventory tops out for the annual cycle. Now, if you have buyers that are not competitive in competitive market situations like we see in those blue zones being February, March, April, and the beginning of May, as we head into the later part of the year, July, August, September, and October are the most red months where buyers can experience some of the better conditions where they might have more opportunity for negotiating power. A couple of the challenges that you're going to be faced with heading into 2020 is what happens if interest rates start to pick up, okay? That could start to dampen buying power as we get into the later part of the year. And as you know, the longer that we wait into the future, the more likely it is that interest rates are going to go up. Now, if you have those buyers that are choosing to wait, the other challenge that they're going to be faced with is that typically between the months of January to June in our detached single-family market, over the last 7 years, average prices have the tendency to increase between 11 to 12% just in that 6-month time frame. So while they may have more choices available to them, it will definitely be a more expensive market. So you've got to weigh out your pros and cons there. Looking at the attached market, we have a very similar market pattern that's revealing itself to us. But since we've been so shallow in inventory for such a long period of time, you actually have a larger window of opportunity to have a strong negotiating power for your sellers. The most blue zones fall in January, February, March, April, and the beginning of May, and then they start to pull back in later July up until about September or October. I hope that this information helps you out, and of course I'll have these broken out for you at the beginning of January. Well, you'll have this broken out into $500,000 price segments because the market shifts and changes as we increase our prices for when's the best time to be a buyer or a seller. If you'd like to get a copy of this, I hope that you'll reach out to me. All of my contact information is across the bottom of the screen. Happy to help you out, and I hope that if we're able to help you better advise your buyers and sellers into 2020 with their strategy, that we'll get to meet them at our closing tables. We'll see you soon.